So we are right now at the main part of the temple, and the temple name is called Swayambhunath. Okay, Swayambhunath is a Buddhist shrine, and with the architecture called the Stupa. And Stupa will always be mandatory to be a Buddhist temple. So whenever you heard the word called Stupa, it will be Buddhist temple only. Okay, so see that from this architecture, this design is called the Stupa, and this is the Buddhist shrine. And Stupa is generally always like this. So it is a solid dome. So we cannot go inside, neither penetrate it. Okay. So whenever comes around, the pilgrims are the people just to circle from the outside, following the clockwise directions. So during mostly that time, they spin those prayer wheels, which have a mantra, same mantra, just repeating on and on, with the 6 words: Om Mani Padame Hum. Okay, the same words. So people are trying to spin around. So the stupa generally define also kind of the elements of the nature. So like the base, the land, the dome, the water, the square, the fire, the column, the air, the plant, and the space, the 5 elements of the nature. And the dome is always white sword, is like a symbol of peace. And then on top there's like a yellows going around. That's the petal of the lotus flower, which symbolize the wisdom. So that one is. In the square you can see the eyes, those eyes bended in the 4 directions. And this is one of the importance of the stupa of the Nepal. So you can find many different Buddhist nations, they also have the stupa, but the stupa of Nepal only, what is different is that eyes are painted. So whenever you see the eyes painted in the stupa, basically that is from the Nepal, okay? So the Nepal stupa is that one different. So the eyes go in the 4 directions, and that symbolizes the Buddha is watching toward us from the 4 directions. But very first, the people seems like it's kind of face, because in eyes and in between looks like a nose. Okay, but if you go a little further down, it's very much like a nose, but it's not nose. Neither looks like somewhat looks like a symbol of question mark. Neither symbol of the question mark. It's very interesting. It's a numeric number 1. Okay, in between the eyes is the number 1. So the number 1 will symbolize the unity of divine. So that's why there's a numeric 1 in between the eyes. But you never find any ears or mouth painted like that one. So what the people believe is the Buddha doesn't like to listen to his prayers, neither he wants to speak out. So mostly he's observing. So he's been observing from the 4 directions. That is the one. And and then again you can see on the 3rd point, it's called the 3rd eye of the teacher, eye of the enlightenment also, you can say that. And after you become in enlightenment, you get the 3rd eye, you can visualize that one. So if you go much upper in the column, this is one of the most important part of the stupas. This circle like a circle of the ring. If you count out, there will always be 13. In every stupa there will be 13 circle rounds, in smaller or bigger, whatever. And that 13 are the 13 steps or 13 levels for enlightenment. To reach the 13 enlightenment, you have to overcome different 13 levels. So they are called the 13 steps of enlightenment. So after coming up all these levels, you reach at nirvana. That the pinnacle is called as part of the nirvana. And after the nirvana, you are free from the cycle of incarnations and all. So you reach at the heaven. So the top center point is called considered as a point of heaven. You get enlightenment and you reach heaven. That's why the stupa is generally the place where the people comes and circle around to get the positive thinking, positive energy, and positive vibration also, and to purify by yourself to reach at the center as the nirvana or free from the incarnation. Yeah? So this is the stupa, and if you see in the pentagon, there are 5 different postures of the meditation Buddha, what we call the Dhyani Buddha or meditation Buddha. So that's why they are in the statues in the 4 directions. It's also considered as a 5 directions: east, west, north, south, and the heaven. So there are like a 5 Buddha called the Pancha Buddha also. So these are all the yellows glittering are the gold plated. So 24 karat of the pure gold plated, that one, okay? So all done on that one. So this is the place, and the stupa is almost some like 2,000 years old. So Kathmandu Valley has been always city of the temples and the legend. So the one legend very famous for this stupa is, once upon a time, according to the Buddhist legend, what the people believe, this whole Kathmandu Valley was a huge big lake. So there was no people living around the full of water, and there was a big lotus flower. It was floating down, and it was giving a very interesting blue light. So it's like a blue light, okay? So the people started to think and talk about these things, and this went up to the Tibet. There was a saint, Guru, the Manjusri. When he came to know about these things, he became very much anxious to do the travel to come inside the Kathmandu Valley. So he made the visit with his followers. When he came to around the valley, he became so much fascinated with the beautiness of the valley. So he went into the meditation. With his meditation, he visualized if he could drain out the water from the valley, this could be a for a place for the living. So with his magical sword, he cut down the southern part, making a deep gorge that they drain out the water. So he left his father to start off the living. From how this living started, and the place where the lotus flower was floating, they built up this stupa. That's why the Swayambhunath means the self-existent stupa also. Yeah? So there are lots of smaller one also. They are like in generally the smaller one also the stupa, but they are not generally called as a chaityas. So for the smaller stupa we generally call the chaityas, and chaityas are basically built up in form of the cult. Okay? So this is also the pass of the energies and positive thinking by the professors or the monks, wherever they build up like one smaller one. And the next thing is very interesting to see is in the left hand side, see the Pagoda temple. That is the Hindu temple. So this is the mixture of the culture between Hinduism and Buddhism. And the Pagoda temple have a goddess. The goddess is called Bharati Mata by the Hindus, and the Buddhists they have another name called Ajima. So that's why most of the temples you will find with two different names, with the Buddhist name and the Hindu name. So the same goddess with Bharati Mata by Hindu and Ajima by the Buddhist, and she is considered as a goddess of fertility. Goddess of fertility, and the next interesting is she also considered as a goddess of disease called smallpox. So there's time they don't have kind of a vaccination to protect all this. So people pray for this goddess to cure the children from the smallpox. Believe that goddess eat all the smallpox disease and children are protected. Okay, so that one is called the Pagoda temple. And next, back behind, there is a next architecture called the Shikhara. So this is the only place where you can frame three architectures in one. So it's a stupa, mandatory to be a Buddhist temple. The pagoda, and the back behind like a tower or like a column is called the Shikhara. And the Shikhara and the pagoda are basically from the 17th century to temple. This is almost more than 2,000 years old. So okay, three architectures, pagoda, Shikhara, and stupa. So the day of the departure, there is an examination. So you're going to hand over the paper. So you have to write all the names of temples and architectures.
You'll have to do it right now.
So where you can, and there's the other side is a platform where you can view around the Kathmandu valley, and close to her there's a stairs. There's a 365 steps from where the pilgrims and the people come. They do visit when they come up, and each step is considered as each day. So if you come up, then you are visited. And same close you can see the big buzz or the center of power. That is generally for the protection from the natural disaster. And there's another backside. There's a monastery, the Tibetan monastery. Yes. But never think to go from that side. Okay, we're going from the same this place. So don't get confused to go 365 steps. So just you take pictures, but never think you're going down. We're going down from the same step. So you have to come in this same place. So there is a monastery where you can go inside. You can take a picture. You don't have to take off your suit. You can just go inside. There is a Tibetan Buddhist monastery called the Karmapa. So you can go and take a picture. So you can make a circle rounds. At the end, we are meeting this same place. Okay. So don't get confused about 365 steps. So don't go around.
So we'll be back here at 10.